Okay. Well, good afternoon. It's President's Day. So I'm actually heading out to the areas called Pond Campgrounds. It's near the Osceola National Park, basically once again, still in the northeast area of Florida, more in the western, in that area. But so I'm going to go out there. It's going to be a 4-day, 3-night, but on there I'm actually going to be hiking a 2-day with an overnight on the Florida Trail. The main piece that I really want to do, I want to test out once again, testing out my new backpacking gear, and I'll talk about it. And the big one is the tent. I have not, I've set up the tent, but I haven't sat there and done it in the field, as they say. So I'm going to go ahead and head there. Just going to set up camp tonight. I plan on a campfire dinner that either I'll be cooking on the wood or I'll be using one of my other stoves. All right, so let's go up the road. Right, so like I mentioned in other videos that, once again, I'm taking the back route. It's a little bit longer time-wise, but for me, once again, you get to see a lot more of the nature. You do wind up going into like these really small towns along the way, and it's an interesting piece of Americana, which I really enjoy. And also, just another little point, this is actually take 2 for me. I actually 2 weeks ago had left on this trip, and I wound up with some van problems. It seems some of the problems from Court's side I thought I had managed. Come to find out, it wound up being one of the fuel injectors I had to get 2 of them replaced. One of those things, once again, talk a little bit more about budgets and that kind of stuff in other videos, because I know it's very important to everybody that's, living in a van or wants to make that transition. What's the actual cost? What's your monthly budget like? But everybody that lives in a van and anybody that talks about this kind of lifestyle, and even living in a sticks and bricks, you do have to have some kind of emergency fund. Try to build it up slowly, however you can do it. But in cases like this where I didn't have the van it was probably about 6 days, because it was also over the weekend, which they don't work. They're the mechanic, very good garage I went to. But still, it's like, I was fortunate that, I'm in my parents' area. So I'm still staying with my parents, at their place, because it's just convenient for me. And it's also nice to visit, with my parents and just, spending that quality time with them. But, I do plan, like now, I'm doing these kind of like little adventures just to get some gear, basically, squared away, dialed in, as they would say, because I'm going to be going on probably a little over a week hike within the next couple of weeks. And then I already plan, and I might have mentioned it already, probably in April, I'll be going back to the Foothills Trail. And at that point, I'm really not sure where I'm going to travel, but my goal is that from that point, after that trail, which will take me about 7 to 10 days, whatever that might look like, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and travel kind of like what I did the Court side. I'm just going to go up the East Coast and see what's available. So we just entered into the Osceola Wildlife Management. So we're part of the National Forest System. I just saw some of the forest roads. There's like that 704. That's what a forest road marker. But you can see the complete difference in just the growth of the pine trees here. It went from just a moment ago. As soon as I crossed that one line, it was like all of a sudden it's like you're just in the midst of all this beauty. So very, very nice. All right, made it to the site. It's not down this road. I'm actually I'm taking a walk. I've already walked through the entire campgrounds. Very, very nice. Once again, the name of the place, as you saw on the sign, it's Ocean Pond Campgrounds. Very inexpensive, at least to me. For the 4 days, 3 nights, I paid, I think $44, which includes, the registration. But I got a primitive site. They do offer full RV hookups. There's a few really big rigs. I did see one gentleman over in the primitive site. He was setting up his solar out of his minivan. I might go over and talk to him. If he seems like he wants a little bit of company, talk to him. Maybe I'll be able to see his rig, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I found this trail over. I would show where I'm at right now, but there's actually some people fishing, and I just don't want to sit there and make anybody uncomfortable because it's a little close to the site, and they don't, I don't want the comment of like, hey, there's some old man talking to himself. So, all right, I'm gonna go see how far this trail goes. This is not the Florida Trail. This is just, it looks some old service road. So, but yeah, all right. So, just for people that might be a little bit less experienced backpacking, so when you see the blazes like this means that the trail turns to the right, not to go straight. If it was straight, it would give you 2, because there is this right turn. But typically what they do is you'll know you did the right thing because you'll get a blaze right away to confirm that, oh, I need to go to the right. So I did speak with one of the camp hosts that's like, I guess, taking care of my area. And they told me about this little trail. I thought I was on it at first, but I was not. And so we'll see where this goes. So I pulled up my Far Out app just to make sure, and I was realizing the blue blaze was a connector to the Florida Trail, because under the notes on the Florida Trail, the Ocean Pond Campgrounds is a place that, if you needed to, you could do a zero. Can't really resupply from what I could tell, but definitely get water, get a privy call. So maybe just, a place to, maybe do like a Nero, or just, or just somewhere to stop, and have a meal. But yep, I'll be on this tomorrow morning, God willing. I'll be hiking in this direction. Like I said, no real goal. There is a shelter. I forgot how many miles out. But whatever. I think the route I kind of looked at, I was looking at doing like maybe 11 or 12 out, and then returning the following day. But like with everything, we will see how it goes. And like I said, I'll have the ULA is the manufacturer of that pack that I bought, and I'll talk a little bit about that also, and some of the ideas of budget and all of that, with also, once again, with a minimalist kind of style, and just being very, I try to be, budget conscious, because, we all should. Okay. So, this is right off, the campsite. You see, van's right there. There's like this little walking path. Okay, I'm slowly getting dinner ready. So I do have these it's a cast iron skillet with a lid, and I have like I said, I have a different camping stove, and I'll pull that out in a little bit. And then I'm doing potatoes, onion, bell pepper, and those are like the plant-based hot dogs. So right now I'm just gonna dice everything up, and then I will show you what goes on from there. Okay, so this is my other camping stove, not the one that I go backpacking with. This is one of those Optimus. It's like multi-fuel stoves. Right now I'm using the propane, and I've had a little problem with it. The problem is that the real adapter is supposed to go to the little camp, the backpacking fuels. It does have a pump where I could put in white alcohol, or the white gasoline, whatever it's called. So I have that also. But I bought this adapter. It's an aftermarket adapter. It says that it pairs well with it, but I've had problems in the past. But we'll see how it goes. So we're doing good right now. These stoves are notorious for making a lot of noise. They refer to it as like the little jet engine. But I think what happened the last time is I think my fuel was very cold. But once everything warmed up, as you can see, I'm cooking with fire. So I don't know if you can see underneath. It's a nice little stove. Like I said, it's nice. It's multi-fuel, and the best thing is that it's like if you're ever in really, really cold conditions, this is a very sturdy, very simple stove. So it's almost done. Alrighty, so that's the final product. I'm gonna sit down and eat. Got about a little less than an hour before sundown, so I'm gonna just sit out here and enjoy the view. Okay, so I just remembered that of all the the van life videos, people living in their vehicles and everything, when they cook, you're also supposed to, like, I guess I'm supposed to take a bite and watch y'all make sure that, like, this is real food, I guess. So I hear, first bite. I'm not gonna do it. But you'll have to trust me. It's already got a big dent in it. It's very tasty. All right, got everything cleaned up. I even have leftovers. It was very, very good. Came back over here after I took a little walk. I took a walk over to, they had like a gazebo. That's where there's where I was able to see the sunset, and it's just very, very beautiful, very calm. It's going to get a little chilly tonight. Nothing. It's going to be like in the 40s, I think. And then tomorrow morning, bright and early, get up. Going to have my morning coffee. And then as soon as the sun comes up, we're going to be on the Florida Trail. I'm really excited.